It happened on an ordinary Tuesday morning inside one of the busiest airports in America. People were rushing to their gates, luggage wheels rolling across shiny floors, voices echoing in the distance. But among the crowd was one quiet cry for help, a cry no one could hear. In the middle of all that noise stood a young girl, maybe 10 or 11, clutching a small backpack. Her eyes darted around, filled with fear and confusion. She wasn't crying out loud, because she couldn't. She was deaf. And while hundreds of people hurried past her, one little girl, someone her own age, noticed something that no one else did. Before we continue, if you believe kindness has the power to change the world, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Kindness Action. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments, because every story we tell is about how one simple act of kindness can make all the difference. The story begins with Emily, an 8-year-old girl traveling with her mom through the airport. It was one of those early mornings when everything felt too busy, people checking phones, rushing through security, kids half asleep pulling their carry-ons. Emily held her mom's hand as they walked toward their gate, but something caught her eye. Near one of the big glass windows sat another girl, about her age, wearing a red sweater. She looked scared and lost. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. Emily stopped walking. Her mom tugged gently on her hand, saying, "Come on, honey, we'll be late." But Emily couldn't look away. Something deep inside her told her something was wrong. The girl's hands were moving, trembling as she made small signs in the air, not random motions, but deliberate ones. Emily didn't understand sign language, but she could feel the desperation behind those movements. The girl glanced at the people walking past her, businessmen with coffee cups, families dragging suitcases, airport staff calling out flight numbers. No one noticed. No one even looked. Emily hesitated, then pulled on her mom's coat. "Mom," she whispered, "that girl, she needs help." Her mom looked over. "Maybe she's just waiting for someone, sweetie. Come on." But Emily stood her ground. "No, Mom, look at her face." Her mother finally stopped and turned around. When she looked closer, she saw the same thing Emily did, the lost, frightened look in the girl's eyes. Emily let go of her mom's hand and walked over slowly. The girl looked up, startled. Emily smiled softly and pointed to herself. "Hi," she mouthed. The other girl hesitated, then raised her hand in a small wave. Emily didn't know any sign language, but she remembered something she had learned from a show at school, a way to say, "Are you okay?" using simple gestures. She tried it clumsily, moving her hand toward her chest and tilting her head. The girl's eyes filled with tears. She shook her head. Then she pointed toward the check-in area and mimed someone walking away. Emily understood, she was lost. Emily turned back to her mom and said, "She lost someone." Her mother immediately approached, knelt beside the girl, and spoke gently, though she knew the child couldn't hear. "Sweetheart, are you lost?" The girl pointed again toward the direction of the security line, then opened her small notebook and wrote a few words. Mom went through. "I couldn't." It broke Emily's heart. The girl must have gotten separated during the security process, unable to call out, unable to explain. Emily's mom quickly waved over an airport staff member. When they arrived, they used hand gestures and the notebook to communicate. Within minutes, they had contacted the security team to look for the girl's mother. But during that time, Emily stayed right by the girl's side. She didn't say much, just sat there, smiling, offering comfort through presence alone. She even handed the girl a piece of gum from her backpack and made a funny face, which made the girl laugh silently. After about 10 long minutes, a woman came running down the hall, her face pale and her eyes wide with panic. When she saw her daughter, she ran faster, dropping her purse, and pulled the girl into her arms. Tears poured down both their faces. Everyone watching smiled, feeling that wave of relief and warmth that comes when something good happens. The mother looked at Emily and her mom with gratitude that words couldn't express. She placed her hand on her heart, then signed "Thank you." Emily didn't need to know sign language to understand that. She smiled and signed back the same gesture. As the two walked away, Emily turned to her mom and asked quietly, "Why didn't anyone else help her, Mom?" Her mother sighed. "Sometimes people are too busy to notice, sweetheart. But you did. You saw her." Emily thought about that for a moment, then said, "I think kindness is when you notice what others don't." Her mom smiled and gave her a hug. "You're absolutely right. The airport soon returned to its usual rhythm, rolling suitcases, announcements, and hurried footsteps, but something had changed. For one little girl, that moment had shown her what true kindness meant. It wasn't about grand gestures or big donations. It wasn't about getting credit or applause. It was about seeing someone when everyone else walks by. When Emily and her mom finally boarded their plane, Emily looked out the window and thought about the deaf girl's smile. It wasn't just gratitude, it was connection. Two children from different worlds, who didn't share the same language, had understood each other through something far more powerful, empathy. And maybe, that's the real language of kindness. At Kindness Action, we believe that kindness doesn't need translation. It's in the smile you share, the hand you lend, the moment you choose to care. So if this story touched your heart, take a second to subscribe, like, and share it, because you never know whose life you might change with one small act of kindness today. And remember, the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more people who can see what others can't, just like Emily did.